This is Jen Coombs from Time to Change Jersey Style and Asking New Jersey Media. I'm in New Brunswick, New Jersey at 4:08 p.m. It's Wednesday, June 17th, 2020. I'm at a protest march for Lincoln Annex School, Robert Wood Johnson Hospital. Would like to take the school away from the kids with the approval of the local government and the school board. This is my first school protest. I want to show you like where we are across the street. We're in front of Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. And some police officers are out here roaming about. And there is a city council meeting tonight. The council meeting in New Brunswick starts at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom, right?
Just phone it in.
Okay.
Phone number to call. I got the info.
From the information that I got, they want to march to City Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. It's great to be here, and I want to start, everybody could just give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. Thank you very much. It's beautiful to see the community come together to defend such an important institution as a public school, and that's what this is here. This site has been used for educational purposes for a century. For a long time, it was a private school, a school you had to pay for, a school that wasn't for all of us. But in 2016, the New Brunswick Board of Education opened this to the public, and it has been a public school ever since, and it will continue to be a public school, because whose school is it? Our school. Ladies and gentlemen, this school wasn't free. We paid for it. $22 million. We paid for it just a few short years ago. And it's a success story, so much so that it was the first in New Brunswick to be deemed a future-ready school. You can see the banner down there. This was the first one. This was the model that the other schools in New Brunswick used to get that same distinction this year. They were first to do it. They installed solar panels on this school just last summer. What a waste it would be to destroy this building that means so much to our community, and that's why all of us came out here and gave our time today on very short notice. So what a beautiful group here. I'm proud to be a part of it. I thank you for being here, and let's have some fun today. We've got a city council that is very out of touch and does not yet realize how important this fight is to the community. We need to make ourselves heard, and they're going to be meeting in just about an hour in downtown, and we are going to show them how we feel. But first, let's show Robert Wood how we feel with some chants. I'm going to hand this over to my good friend Carrie, and we can get started.
Sí, buenas tardes. Estamos aquí hoy, seguimos en la lucha para defender la escuela Lincoln Annex. Queremos presionar, sabemos que por parte de la Junta de Educación están diciendo que la escuela ya se ha vendido. Esta escuela no se ha vendido y seguimos aquí en la lucha para que el hospital Robert Wood Johnson no siga con sus planes de destruir la escuela de nuestros hijos. Y vamos a estar también en el City Hall, estaremos también exigiendo que no aprueben la venta de nuestra escuela, porque no queremos que nuestros hijos sufran a ir a una escuela lejos donde va a ser muy peligroso llegar. No podemos permitir que sigan sacándonos en nuestras pocas escuelas que tenemos en nuestros barrios.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Let's hear it for Caritina, for Cari. We are here once again to express public opposition to the closing of Lincoln Annex School. Patients, staff at RWJ Hospital, I ask you, if this were your child's school, would you want it to be shut down? Would you want your children to have to go 2 miles away to a warehouse? Would you want your children's new school to be built who knows how many years in the future on a contaminated brownfield site? Lincoln Annex is one of the best public schools in this city, one of the best performing schools in New Brunswick, in a district that faces many challenges. As Charlie said, it was opened only 3.5 years ago at the cost of $22 million to taxpayers. Why would anyone in their right mind tear it down? Robert Wood Johnson is the most powerful and largest institution in this town, next to Rutgers. It owns plenty of property all around this city. It has many other places where it could build. Why does it want to build an expansion on the backs of working class children and families? Why does it want to displace people who have nothing to do with the hospital, the expansion, and cause them to bear the burden and suffer displacement, dislocation, and all of the negative impacts that closing public schools has on children? We ask everyone to support us in this cause because the community is opposed to this. Do we want RWJ to close down Lincoln Annex? No! I didn't hear that. Do we want RWJ to close Lincoln Annex? No! One more time to make sure those $1 million executives can hear us. Do we? No! Very good. Now you have some chance.
Lincoln Annex no se vende. 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 El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha.
Hi, yes, my name is Danielle Moore. I have been an activist for over 15 years in New Brunswick. I tell you, 50 Jersey Avenue is not safe for a school to go to. Contaminated land next to Amtrak Railroad Station. Plenty of drugs, sexual harassment. Would you want your child to be around this every day? Walking to school? No! Do not take our school. You have taken enough of our property, but we will not let you take the Lincoln Annex School. It was the smartest school when it was St. Peter's High School, and it's still the smartest school as Lincoln Annex. Highest test scores in New Jersey. Do not take our school. Thank you.
Pues como ven, así está la situación en este caso. Me da mucho gusto de verdad que hay padres que ya no están dormidos, que tienen la valentía de poder salir y dejar saber lo que está pasando. Es bueno que la gente deje de estar sumisa, agachada, aguantando, pagando las rentas que pagamos, los taxes que pagamos.
Bueno, buenas tardes, mi nombre es Isabel, soy madre de Lincoln Annex y estoy en la lucha para que no se cierre esta escuela que es una de las mejores de New Brunswick y queremos que nos apoyen por favor, porque no solamente es mi hija, son muchos niños y es una de las mejores escuelas. No queremos que los niños se vayan en un almacén, por favor, apóyenos y luchemos hasta el final porque sí se puede. Almacenes, sí. Ay, perdón. Escuela, sí. Almacenes, no. Escuela, sí. Almacenes, no.
Say it with me, everyone. Lincoln Annex, not for sale. Lincoln Annex, not for sale. Lincoln Annex, not for sale.
Bueno, entonces quiero simplemente dejar oír la voz de mis compañeros, que ustedes se den cuenta de que los padres que están luchando.
Ok, buenas tardes a todas las personas que están aquí. Muchas gracias, como siempre, por haber venido y apoyar la lucha de nuestras comunidades. Sabemos que esta cuestión de Lincoln Annex no solamente se limita a una escuela, sino también va más allá de una escuela. Sabemos que este es un ataque en contra de nuestras comunidades afroamericanas y también latinas que viven aquí en New Brunswick. Familias de bajos recursos que la alcaldía piensa que puede tratar como ellos les dé la gana. Por eso estamos luchando por Lincoln Annex, por los estudiantes y también por el futuro de New Brunswick. Cada vez más se están construyendo edificios que no tienen nada que ver con nuestra comunidad. Cada vez nos están sacando del centro de New Brunswick para las afueras de New Brunswick. Y eventualmente lo que quieren es que nos vayamos de New Brunswick. Por eso estamos aquí luchando y no vamos a permitir que ni el alcalde ni tampoco la Junta de Educación nos esté sacando. Todos tenemos el derecho a una vivienda, todos tenemos el derecho a ir a una escuela que no esté contaminada y también tenemos el derecho a ser tratados iguales bajo la justicia. Entonces, vamos a hacer unos cánticos, después Diego nos va a dar unas pequeñas palabras. ¿Se puede? Ok. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? 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 Ok, entonces ahora les voy a presentar a Diego Diego es un estudiante de la escuela Lincoln Annex y él ha estado organizando desde ya mucho tiempo atrás. Diego representa a todos sus compañeros de escuela y él nos va a dar unas pequeñas palabras.
Como Carlos dijo, yo soy estudiante de Lincoln Annex y yo quiero apoyar a todos mis amigos y nomás quiero decir que la educación de todos los niños importa. Gracias. So like Carlos said, I'm a Lincoln Annex student and I just want to say that kids' education matters too.
There you heard it, everyone, from a student of the school, Lincoln Annex, a fourth grader in the Gifted and Talented program who is doing very well in this school, who is excelling along with his classmates, who does not want to see this solid, excellent building and structure torn down so that Robert Wood Johnson and its millionaire executives can expand their land holdings in this city. RWJ owns plenty of land here already. This all used to be a residential area. The old timers will tell you that RWJ has taken over more and more land. Do we support that? No! What do we want? Schools! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Our schools! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Our schools! And when do we want them? Now! Are we selling Lincoln Annex? No! Are we selling Lincoln Annex? No! Are we selling Lincoln Annex? No! The people united. Will never be defeated. The people united. Will never be defeated. The people united will never be divided. Thank you very much. I don't know who wanted to speak next.
Speaking now, the Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Shame on you, Robert Wood Johnson, for sending kids to contaminated land. Not good. Money is not everything. This is the city of New Brunswick, not the city of Robert Wood Johnson.
That's right.
Do not take our school.
That's right.
There's the man. Guilt. He went back in. Taking our school, putting it on contaminated land, not good. We're not against the risk of you taking it, but we're against you trying to give our kids cancer on contaminated land. 50 Jersey Avenue is not good. Next to Amtrak, New Jersey Railroad tracks, where the kids can cross, loaded with drugs, sexual harassment, and plenty of accidents regard Jersey Avenue and French Street. Not safe for school. Do not take our school.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much again for coming out. This is a beautiful crowd, and we are going to win this fight, and we're going to win it not just for the kids at Lincoln Annex, but for all the kids in New Brunswick who've had their schools sold. Believe it or not, this is not the first time this kind of a scam has happened. It's gone through way too much here in New Brunswick, and in fact, this neighborhood is the neighborhood that's been impacted the most by the sale of schools. We used to have a Votech high school right here in New Brunswick in the 6th Ward over on Easton Avenue. It was the first Votech school in the United States of America. And it is now a vacant eyesore that is in the hands of St. Peter's Hospital. And they're not doing anything with it. It's just a big, ugly, vacant building that could have been serving our students, educating the future of this city. Up the street, we won't make it all the way up there, but over by French and Lewis, you see the Robert Wood Johnson Proton Therapy Center. Well, that used to be the Washington School. It was a school that served all the kids in that neighborhood, and now those kids depend on this school and this school alone for 4 years of their education. These are young kids, grades 4 through 8. And the plan by this corrupt mayor is to take their school away and force them to spend those years in a warehouse owned by his friend that we're all going to pay for. When we've got a perfectly good school right here that we paid for already, $22 million. So let's do this not just for these kids, but for the kids who've been ripped off before, like the kids who went to Redshaw School when they were told they were going to have a brand new school in just a couple of years if they could just put up with the warehousing of those students for a couple of years. It turned out to be 10 years before they finally delivered on that promise. And you know, fool us once, you know, shame on you, but this is on us now. We've got to fight for these kids. We've seen this play before. We've seen how it ends when we just blindly trust the developers and the hospitals and the politicians to do these land deals, and we expect that the students are going to actually get what they're promised. It's doubtful. These people have a poor track record. You don't have to go far to see what Devco has done to New Brunswick. Just go downtown and we see the giant hole in the ground, the crater, the eyesore that they said they were going to do something with so many years ago and never did, and they skipped right over it. They said, yeah, we'll do something there, but first we want to take the school. First, our first project is going to be to shut down this school and build what we want there, and then maybe we'll get around to filling in that giant hole in the ground that's an eyesore and a poor welcome and not serving anyone in our city. So let's not trust these guys anymore. Let's keep fighting for the kids, and let's keep this movement going, because this doesn't end with just this one fight or this one council meeting or this one protest. This is so awesome that so many of you came out here, but I am going to pass around a little sign-up sheet so you can put down your email and phone so we can keep you informed about future actions, future issues that come up in the city. Education is not the only issue here. There are a lot of issues. We have a situation where the people are being oppressed by their leaders, and we need to unite, because at the end of the day, we've got the power, not them. So I'm going to pass this sign-up sheet around, and then we're going to take to the streets, and we are going to be loud and proud, marching to City Hall in time for this meeting. So thank you so much, everybody. Anybody want to do a few more chants while I pass this around? Thank you.
Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. ¿Qué queremos? Escuelas. ¿Qué queremos? No queremos que sigan jugando con nuestra comunidad, que sigan jugando con la salud y el bienestar de nuestros niños. Este hospital quiere destruir nuestra escuela. El hospital está para salvar vidas, no para poner en riesgo la vida, la salud de nuestros hijos que quieren mandar a ese lugar contaminado. No podemos permitir que sigan destruyendo nuestro barrio, sacando nuestra comunidad poco a poco, porque hoy es nuestra escuela, mañana serán nuestros hogares. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende.
Lincoln Annex, not for sale. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Say it with me, RWJ, hands off our school. RWJ, hands off our school. RWJ. Wood Johnson Hospital can build elsewhere. They have many other choices and many other options. Leave our school alone. The Hippocratic oath that doctors take says to do no harm. Do not harm the well-being of these children. Do not tear down an institution that serves the public good of this city. Do not take away the only school left in this neighborhood. Let's march, folks, to the City Hall.
They're going to put another 15-car drive building with Brunswick Johnson's name. It just went through a little last week ago. It's been put. They're trying to put another 15-car drive building. We're stepping out of the bridge.
Yeah, I think we're good. They're going to lead the way and we can take the street.
The protesters are taking over the streets. Police is helping out with the march.
Shame on Robert Wood Johnson! Taking our school! Putting kids on contaminated land!
Putting kids on contaminated land!
Not good!
Not good! The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be divided. 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 The
people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. Hands off Lincoln Annex! 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 Leave our school alone! 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 Let our children learn! 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 Let our children learn!
The cops are helping out with the escort.
Escucha, estamos en la lucha. Lincoln Annex no se vende. 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 Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. 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 Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Pueblo, escucha, únete a la lucha. 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 Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, it does.
Escuelas.
Hoy están a punto de tirar nuestra escuela y no lo vamos a permitir. Hoy es nuestra escuela, mañana serán nuestros negocios, nuestros hogares. Únanse a esta lucha para salvar Lincoln Annex. No queremos más gentrificación, no queremos que estén llevando a nuestros hijos a una escuela lejos donde es peligroso llegar. No podemos permitir que la ciudad de New Brunswick siga jugando con la seguridad de nuestros hijos. Estamos aquí luchando para que no venga nuestra escuela. Únanse a esta lucha, no solo por si tienen hijos, sino por sus hogares, por su comunidad. No podemos seguir permitiendo que jueguen con nosotros porque también aportamos a esta ciudad. Pagamos taxes, esta ciudad se enriquece de los taxes de toda nuestra comunidad que ha abierto al gusto como negocio y no están metiendo con palos, nos están ignorando, están jugando con la seguridad de nuestros hijos. Por eso estamos aquí hoy luchando, porque no vamos a permitir que vengan nuestra escuela. ¡Pueblo, escucha! ¡Únete a la lucha! ¡Pueblo, escucha! ¡Únete a la lucha! ¡Pueblo, escucha!
United
I'm well located. That's the United States, one of United States Post Office right there. And this is the Middlesex Administration Building. That's like where the freeholders, all the county services and things like that. I was in that building once. I know, a couple of times. And this is the City Hall for New Brunswick right here.
Lincoln Annex Annex is not for sale. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. Escuela sí, centrificación no. ¿Qué queremos? Escuelas. ¿Dónde las queremos? Escuela sí, centrificación no. Lincoln Annex no se vende. 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 New Brunswick, escucha, estamos en la lucha. New Brunswick, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 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 Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Lincoln Annex no se vende. Nuestra comunidad no se vende.
Nuestra comunidad no se vende.
Nuestra comunidad no se vende.
Nuestra comunidad no se vende.
Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Pueblo, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Escuela sí, almacenes no. Pueblo, escucha, una sola lucha. Pueblo, escucha, una sola lucha.
Good evening, everyone. How are we feeling tonight? We're here to send a message to City Council, to Robert Wood Johnson Hospital, to the people of color in the city. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. You didn't hear us. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. One more time. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. These city council members would not send their children to a warehouse. They're not sending their kids to a contaminated site. Some of them are sending their kids out of the district, in fact. Do we support this? No. Do we want our school, our good neighborhood school, to be torn down? No. Is this right? No. The city government says it supports racial justice. What kind of racial justice is this? 94% of the school are Latino children from working families. They want to push them out of the neighborhood, close down their school. Who's that? Oh, Keith Jones. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Who is that? Keith Jones.
Make sure everyone put it on Facebook and Keith Jones sold the school as well. Proud of him looking innocent like he cares and he does not.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bringing so much energy today. Give yourselves another round of applause. This is another successful action raising awareness about a theft, the theft of our school. And thank you so much for being a part of today's protest, but this is just the beginning. Of course, the city council members are on their way here. So when they show up, we want to give them a warm welcome and let them know why we're here. And that's because the Lincoln Annex is not for sale. So, as I said before we left, we do have a sign-in sheet. For anybody who didn't sign it, please come see me. I'll get you the sign-in sheet. And I do have a handout with some information about tonight's meeting. The building is locked. We're not going to be allowed in. Only the officials are going to be in the building. But if you've got a phone, you've got the right to speak to these elected officials tonight, and they have to listen to you. So there is an ordinance hearing on a proposal to put the Middlesex County Improvement Authority in charge of this scam, this deal to close the school and transfer the land to Robert Wood Johnson. This is a very interesting and unprecedented ordinance. To my knowledge, this type of thing has never been done before. The County Improvement Authority has not been a redevelopment entity for the city. But the important point, besides all the stuff we already know about how schools are important and we shouldn't ever sell them, and definitely shouldn't sell this one until there's a new one ready to open, the Middlesex County Improvement Authority got burned by these same people. There's a hotel down the block, the Heldrick Hotel. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Some of you may have even stayed there. And they used the County Improvement Authority to borrow money to open that hotel. And the Improvement Authority did not get paid back. They got burned once, and then they're going back with the same people to do the same kind of a deal and going in even deeper, becoming the redevelopment entity and giving, allowing them to use their low credit rate or their high credit rating to borrow even more money, which is, by the way, not what we were told was how this project was going to be funded. We were told this was a free cancer hospital and a free new school that we were going to get, and it was a lie. Right there in that building, the Middlesex County Administration building, many of us went there month after month complaining about this issue. We said, our local government's trying to sell a school. Stop it, interfere with it, step up, represent us, you work for us. And they said, well, that's a local issue. We really got nothing to do with it. It's just not our purview. It's not part of our jurisdiction. And they were lying to our faces on video back in that room pre-pandemic. And then once the pandemic hit, then the looting started. Then they voted to give $25 million of our money to this scam. The county has already signed off on giving away $25 million, but then why do they need the Improvement Authority to borrow money? If they've already gotten the $25 million, they're coming back for more. They want to steal more from us as part of this scam to benefit Devco and Robert Wood Johnson, the power players, the millionaires, the people who have reshaped this community in the corporate image and left behind the good people, the poor people of New Brunswick who just want to get an education and work and live and be good community members. These outsiders who don't live in New Brunswick have been using the government as a tool to steal from us, and that's continuing tonight with this ordinance. This is a bad ordinance. It's bad if you're the Improvement Authority, it's bad if you're the city, and it's definitely bad if you're part of the Lincoln Annex community, because this is facilitating the destruction of a school in the middle of a pandemic when so much is uncertain right now, when the financial future of our school system, of our county, of our city are totally unpredictable and up in the air. These folks are trying to use the chaos and use the crisis and the disorientation to exploit us even more and get away with even worse crimes, even more theft, and close this school. And mark my words, if they get away with this, this won't be the last time. They will do this in other cities, and they will do this to other schools. And so that's why we're fighting. This is much bigger than just one protest, just one meeting, just one thing that we're opposing. We are opposing this system which has been exploiting us and selling out to the corporate interests for decades. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to pass out some information about how you can call in. Thank you very much. And please, let's stick around at least for another 15-20 minutes so the council can see us on the way in. And then wherever you are, just use this number to call in. You'll get 5 minutes to speak about the ordinance. Remember, you can ask questions too. You don't have to just speak, but speak from the heart. Tell people you're against it, regardless of where you live. You know, you care about education, and that's why you're here today, and that's why you're going to be on the phone call.
What's the phone number?
Sure. So for our audience at home, if you want to participate tonight, you dial 571-317-3122, and then you'll enter code 210-872-869. The information is on the City of New Brunswick website, and we'll be trying to broadcast it live on New Brunswick Today Facebook page as well with that information there. And thank you all for being a part of this beautiful movement. We are going to keep fighting and keep growing and keep building power, and they're not going to know what hit them. So thank you so much, everybody. God bless.
Yes, once again, I know a lot about activists and being safety throughout New Brunswick. I will say the city doesn't like me or Charlie due to where we're the bad ones because we speak up for people. But I'm telling you, due to where it's all about money with the city and selling our school, which is not right. None of
Closer to your mouth, closer to your mouth.
Like I said, I have been an activist for over 15 years with regard to safety with the city. If the city really cared about our residents and our children, I would not have to take pictures and testify to show the city, please do this. Charlie would not have to announce, wow, why is this going on? Please, the city doesn't care, but please, we have to show them tonight that do not take the Lincoln Annex School away. It is not safe at 50 Jersey Avenue. Please, I'm pretty sure on record, if I can show anyone one day how many pictures I have of the police department picking up overdoses 3 times a day in that area. It is not an area for any child to be in. And please, like I said, the city says they care. No, they do not. But please, like I said, with our heart, I hope the city is listening. When I usually tell you something is safe, it's not safe. And I will say, as a Keith Jones tonight, for everyone to hear how he feels that he's so innocent that we're doing the wrong thing. Yes, Mr. Keith Jones II is part of this. He feels good about selling the Lincoln Annex School, which is not right. Boo for Keith Jones tonight. Yes, and the city council. Thank you.
Let's let them know. People over profits. People over profits. People over profits. For those of you New Brunswick residents and other supporters who do not know, the city has been lying to residents, telling them that the school is already sold. They're telling parents, they're telling community residents and neighbors that the deal is done. Do not believe them. The school is not sold, and the school will not be sold. We are in court in a legal battle right now, challenging all of the illegal moves the city and the Board of Education have done in trying to sell Lincoln Annex to RWJ and let DevCo come in and make its money off of tearing down our good institutions, our good public schools, and seeing profits from this. Is Lincoln Annex for sale, everybody? No! Is Lincoln Annex for sale, everybody? No! One more time. right, thank you.
Quiero agradecer a todos que tomaron su tiempo por venir a esta protesta de emergencia, ya que la ciudad y la escuela quieren seguir avanzando con el proceso de vender nuestra escuela. Estamos aquí y no lo permitiremos.
I want to thank everybody tonight for coming out to support us. We're here to let the city know that they still want to sell our school and we will not permit it.
Los invitamos a que asistan a esta reunión que van a tener el Consejo Municipal para que le exijamos que no permitan que sigan con ese proceso de vender a nuestra escuela.
We invite you to join the city council meeting tonight to let them know that we don't want them to continue with this plan of selling the school.
Esta escuela Lincoln Annex es una de las mejores escuelas. Es la segunda de la que está en ese barrio y están despojando a esos niños que viven en esa área de su escuela.
Lincoln Annex is one of the best schools in the city, one of the only schools in the neighborhood, and they're pushing children out of their community.
Así como también les invitamos a que sigan en las reuniones de la Junta Educativa, donde ellos seguirán, muchas veces nos han callado, pero tenemos que estar unidos y exigiendo que estamos ahí para seguir luchando para que no vendan la escuela.
We also invite you to join the Board of Education meetings. Even though they try to silence us, we are there expressing our opinions. Next Tuesday, Board of Education meeting. Okay, so we can get our opinions heard. No matter how much they try to silence us, the people will not be silenced.
Sí, muchas personas están confundidas dando por hecho que esta escuela ya se vendió. Sabemos que la Junta de Educación y parte de las personas que mueven esta ciudad están haciéndonos creer que la escuela ya se vendió para que aquí dejemos nuestra lucha.
Many people are confused thinking that the school's already been sold. We know that the Board of Education and the people that run this city are intentionally trying to confuse people and make them believe that the school has been sold. We're here to say that it has not.
Pero estamos aquí para seguir luchando por la seguridad y el bienestar de nuestros hijos, así que el Lincoln Annex no se vende.
But we're here to fight for the security and dignity of our children and to say that Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Lincoln Annex is not for sale. One last time, Lincoln Annex is not for sale. Woo! Thank you, everybody. Please make sure to call in to the city council meeting tonight. Make your voice heard, express your opinion, express your opposition to the city council, that we oppose the sale of our public schools. We oppose the displacement of our children to warehouses. We oppose the construction of new schools on contaminated brownfield sites. Who does that? Who sends children to contaminated, toxic sites?
They say they do it all the time.
They're shameless. Shame on the city council. Shame on the mayor. Shame on Keith Jones. Shame on the whole bunch of them. Shame, shame, shame. Shame, shame, shame.
All right, everybody. So we are getting close to the start of the meeting. I want to make sure everybody has what they need to succeed tonight. You've got the number to call in. You've got this great energy you brought here. And I'm going to run over to my computer and broadcast it live so everybody in New Brunswick can listen to this call. If they didn't know what was going on, they will by the time we're done. If everybody here speaks, it's going to be a long night for these guys. So I hope that all of you can, make sure you stay with your phone, keep your phone on, and get into this meeting. It's pretty simple. You guys we're all doing conference calls these days with the pandemic, so just make sure that you do get in. And then when they basically they start the meeting and they just read a bunch of stuff. It takes like 10-15 minutes, and then they get into the part of the meeting where they pass ordinances. There's going to be 2 ordinances on second reading, and this is the second one of them. So the first one probably will go by pretty quickly, and then when they get to the one about redevelopment and the healthcare pavilion and the Jersey Handy redevelopment area, that's the one where it's our cue to speak up. The council president will say, if anybody wants to sign up, I'm going to read all the letters of the alphabet, and when I get to the letter of your last name, speak up. So when he gets to the letter K, I'm going to speak up and say, I'm Charlie Cradaville, I want to speak. And he'll make a whole list of everybody who wants to speak, and everyone will get 5 minutes to speak on that ordinance. So remember, this is an ordinance that is a piece of the plan to sell the school. Don't let them shut you down and say, you can't talk about that, that's not part of this. It is. This is exactly why they're doing it, is to sell the school, because Robert Wood and Devco want the school, and they are doing what the developer wants. So we're here to speak against it. That's your moment to shine. There will be also 5 minutes that you get to speak on the resolutions, and also 5 minutes at the end of the meeting if you're still hanging out and you want to give them another 5 minutes of your time. By all means, I think a lot of people are going to be speaking up about police issues and the police budget, and there should be some interesting discussion and some interesting questions. So if you do stick around for the rest of the meeting, please know that you do get another 5 minutes if you feel compelled to speak to these folks again. And it's their job to listen to you. It's your 5 minutes, make the most of it, and I'm going to do my part to make sure everybody can hear it. So I'm going to go run to my computer and broadcast this, but thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for calling in tonight, and this is just the beginning. We'll be back at the next one, July 1st. We got the Board of Ed, we got the Improvement Authority, we got the freeholders. All these folks need to hear from us and know how important this issue is. So keep raising awareness. Next time, bring 2 friends. I see some people brought friends. Bring 2 friends next time, because this movement's growing, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of it with you all. Thank you all so much for being a part of this today. It was beautiful.